In the heart of the Galactic Empire, far from the peaceful worlds known to many, was a planet ruled with an iron fist. This planet was a symbol of the Empire's might, where dissent was crushed and control was absolute. On this world, an event unfolded that would shake the galaxy and ignite a fierce anger among the humans. It all began on a cold, gray morning. The Empire had decided to demonstrate its power to its subjects and enemies alike. To make their point, they chose a most unlikely victim, a young human child. This child was not from a wealthy family or an influential clan. He was an ordinary boy, caught up in the Empire's cruel game of intimidation. The boy's family had lived in a small, modest settlement on the edge of the Empire's occupied territories. They were simple people, working hard to survive under the Empire's oppressive rule. The boy, no older than 10, had dreams and hopes like any other child. But the Empire had other plans. One day, soldiers burst into his home, dragging him away from his family, who could only watch in helpless horror. The news of the boy's capture spread quickly. The Galactic Empire made no effort to hide their intentions. They broadcasted the boy's final moments live, using it as a grim message to all who dared defy them. As the broadcast began, millions across the galaxy tuned in, their eyes glued to their screens. They watched as the boy was paraded through the streets, his face filled with a mixture of fear and confusion. In the Empire's Grand Hall, the high-ranking officials watched with cold detachment. They saw the boy not as a child, but as a symbol, a tool to reinforce their dominance. As the broadcast ended, the boy's life was taken in a brutal and public execution. The message was clear: defiance would be met with severe consequences. Back on Earth, the news of the boy's death reached the human survivors living in secrecy. They had been hidden for years, their existence known only to a select few. When they heard about the execution, their initial shock quickly turned into rage. To them, the Empire's actions were not just a political statement, they were a declaration of war. In a dimly lit room, a group of human leaders gathered. The room was filled with a tense silence as they discussed the tragedy. Each leader had their own thoughts and feelings, but they were united in their anger. The boy's death was more than a tragic loss. It was an insult to all humanity. One of the leaders, a seasoned veteran of past conflicts, stood up and spoke. "The Empire thinks they can break us with fear. They think they can silence us with brutality. But they have made a grave mistake. This is not just about one child. It is about our dignity, our strength. We will not stand by and let this act of cruelty go unanswered." The room erupted into murmurs of agreement. Plans were quickly drawn up, and the wheels of action began turning. They knew they needed to respond, not just with words, but with a demonstration of their power. The message had to be clear and undeniable. As they prepared their response, the human leaders worked with a sense of urgency. They knew that the Empire had underestimated them, and they intended to use this to their advantage. They began to assemble their most advanced technology and strategists, readying themselves for a confrontation that would make the Empire take notice. The boy's death had sparked something within humanity, a fierce determination to show that they would not be cowed or controlled. The tragedy of one innocent child had become a rallying cry for a people who were ready to fight for their dignity and their future. Little did the Galactic Empire know, the act of cruelty that they had intended to use as a weapon of fear would instead ignite a fire that would burn brightly across the galaxy. The tragedy of the boy was about to become the catalyst for a new chapter in the struggle between humanity and the Empire. On Earth, the gravity of the situation was undeniable. The Galactic Empire's ruthless act had reached the hidden human enclaves, and the leaders knew they had to act quickly. Deep within their secret base, a group of the most brilliant minds and seasoned strategists gathered to discuss their response. This base was a marvel of advanced technology and secrecy, hidden away from the prying eyes of the Empire. The meeting room was dimly lit, with only the glow of holographic displays casting shadows on the walls. The air was thick with tension as the leaders took their seats. Each one knew the weight of the decision they were about to make. The Empire had crossed a line, and now it was time for humanity to show that they would not be intimidated. The leader of the assembly, a stern woman with years of experience in interstellar diplomacy and warfare, began the discussion. The Empire's actions are not just an attack on one child. They are a direct challenge to our existence and our honor. We must respond in a way that they will never forget. As she spoke, the holographic displays projected images of the Empire's strongholds and their advanced weaponry. The leaders reviewed data, analyzing the Empire's weaknesses and strengths. They needed a plan that would not only send a clear message, but also ensure their own safety. A young strategist, known for her innovative thinking, spoke up. "We need to make sure our message is unmistakable. It should be powerful enough to make the Empire rethink their position. But we must also be smart about it. We can't afford to lose our advantage by acting recklessly." Her words resonated with the group. They began brainstorming ways to craft a warning that would leave no room for doubt. The idea was to create a demonstration of power that would make the Empire realize the full extent of humanity's capabilities. Plans were made to use their most advanced technology. Hidden away on Earth were ships and weapons that the Empire had never seen. These were not just relics of the past, but the pinnacle of human engineering, designed to be both awe-inspiring and terrifying. The leaders decided to send a two-part message. First, a chilling transmission would be broadcast directly to the Empire's main communication channels. This message would simply state, "Run." It would be clear, direct, and designed to unsettle the Empire's leadership. Second, they would follow up with a live demonstration of their technology. This demonstration would showcase their advanced weaponry and strategic capabilities. The aim was to display their power without provoking unnecessary escalation. They wanted the Empire to see what they were up against, but not to engage in an all-out war unless absolutely necessary. As the plans took shape, the assembly members worked with intense focus. They coordinated with various teams to ensure that every detail was perfect. The demonstration needed to be flawless, showing their technology at its most impressive and formidable. Meanwhile, the human scientists and engineers worked tirelessly in their labs. They fine-tuned their spacecraft and weapons, ensuring that everything would work smoothly. The tension in the air was palpable, but so was the determination. They knew they were on the brink of a significant confrontation, and they were prepared to face it head-on. The leaders also had to consider the potential consequences of their actions. They knew that a direct attack on the Empire could lead to severe retaliation, so they decided to keep their response strictly to a show of force and a clear warning. Their goal was to make the Empire think twice about their actions and reconsider any further aggression. In the days leading up to the execution of their plan, the hidden human base buzzed with activity. Preparations were finalized, and every member of the team was on high alert. They were ready to send their message, and they were determined to make sure it was heard loud and clear. The time for action was drawing near. The Empire had made a grave mistake, and humanity was about to make sure they understood the gravity of their error. With their plan in place and their resolve strengthened, the human leaders prepared to take the next step in their fight for justice and respect. In the depths of Earth's hidden base, the atmosphere was charged with urgency and determination. The human leaders and their teams were hard at work, preparing to send a message that would shake the Galactic Empire to its core. Their objective was clear: craft a warning so powerful that the Empire would be forced to take notice. The main operations room was a hive of activity. Large screens displayed schematics of advanced spacecraft, while engineers and scientists moved with purpose, their faces illuminated by the soft blue glow of their consoles. Every detail of the plan was crucial. The stakes were high, and failure was not an option. At the center of the room, a team of experts was focused on creating the warning message. The leader of this team was a seasoned communicator, known for her ability to craft messages that cut through the noise and make an impact. She knew that the message had to be more than just words. It had to convey both the strength and resolve of humanity. She began by discussing the core elements of the message with her team. We need to make sure our message is clear and direct. It should leave no room for doubt about our intentions. We want the Empire to understand that they've made a serious mistake and that we are not afraid to act. The team agreed. The first part of the message would be a simple yet powerful transmission. Run. It was meant to be a jarring statement, a stark warning that the Empire's actions had crossed a line. The word run was chosen deliberately. It was a command that suggested fear, urgency, and a need to escape, a direct contrast to the Empire's usual arrogance. Next, they needed to plan the delivery of this message. The transmission would be sent to the Empire's central communication network, ensuring it reached the highest levels of command. They used advanced encryption to secure the message, making it nearly impossible for the Empire to ignore or dismiss. The second part of their plan was to follow up the message with a live demonstration. This was where humanity would truly showcase its power. The demonstration would be a display of their most advanced technology, designed to make the Empire understand the depth of their capability. Engineers worked on configuring the spacecraft that would deliver the demonstration. These ships were state-of-the-art, equipped with weaponry and technology far beyond what the Empire had seen. They were designed not only to impress, but to intimidate. The team ensured that the demonstration would be both visually stunning and strategically sound. One of the key components of the demonstration was a series of precision strikes on a remote, uninhabited sector of the Empire's territory. The strikes would be carefully calculated to show their power without causing unnecessary harm. The goal was to display their capabilities while avoiding a full-scale conflict. As the teams prepared the demonstration, they also worked on the visual presentation. They wanted the Empire to see not just the raw power of their technology, but also the skill and precision behind it. Holographic simulations were used to perfect every aspect of the display, ensuring that it would be both impressive and clear. In the days leading up to the execution of their plan, the atmosphere in the base was one of intense focus. Every team member knew the importance of their role and the impact their work would have. They worked long hours, driven by a sense of purpose and the knowledge that they were about to take a stand against an oppressive regime. Finally, the day arrived when the message and demonstration were ready. The teams assembled for a final review, making sure that everything was in place. The leader of the communication team looked around at her colleagues, her face reflecting both determination and anticipation. "We're ready," she said. "Let's make sure the Galactic Empire hears us loud and clear." With the message prepared and the demonstration set, the teams took their positions. The transmission was sent, and the countdown to the demonstration began. Humanity was about to send a powerful message to the Galactic Empire, one that would show them that their cruelty would not go unanswered. As the transmission and demonstration unfolded, the team watched with bated breath. The time had come to see if their plan would succeed in making the Galactic Empire understand the gravity of their actions. The fate of their response rested on these critical moments, and they were ready to face whatever came next. The hour of reckoning had arrived. In the depths of Earth's hidden base, every detail of the plan was set in motion. The time had come to send their message to the Galactic Empire, a message that would test the Empire's arrogance and strength. The command center was abuzz with activity. Engineers and technicians worked diligently, ensuring that every piece of equipment was ready for the critical task ahead. Holographic screens flickered with data, and the hum of advanced machinery filled the room. The atmosphere was tense but focused, a stark contrast to the earlier moments of preparation. At the heart of the operation was the communications team, led by the brilliant strategist known for her precise and impactful messaging. She stood in front of a massive console, her fingers dancing over the controls as she reviewed the final details of their transmission. The message needed to be perfect, a clear and unambiguous warning to the Galactic Empire. The transmission system was state-of-the-art, designed to bypass the Empire's sophisticated defenses. It was equipped with advanced encryption to protect the message and ensure its delivery. As the team prepared to launch the transmission, the room fell silent. Every member of the team knew the importance of this moment. The leader of the communications team addressed her colleagues. "We're about to send a message that will echo across the galaxy. Remember, this is not just about words. It's about sending a clear signal to the Empire that we are not to be underestimated. Make sure everything is perfect." With a nod of agreement, the team set the transmission in motion. The message, brief but powerful, was ready to be sent. It consisted of a single word, chosen deliberately for its impact: run. The transmission was directed to the Galactic Empire's central communication hub, the nerve center of their vast network. This was where the Empire's highest officials received their updates, and where the message needed to be seen and heard. The team watched as the data packets were sent through the encrypted channels, ensuring that the message would reach its destination without interference. As the transmission proceeded, the command center shifted its focus to the next phase of the plan: the demonstration. The demonstration was designed to showcase humanity's technological prowess and serve as a visual representation of their strength. This was the part of the plan that would follow the warning, reinforcing their message with undeniable proof. Outside the base, the hidden spacecraft, sleek and powerful, were being prepared for their role in the demonstration. These ships were equipped with advanced weaponry and technology that the Galactic Empire had never encountered before. They were designed to impress, intimidate, and convey the full extent of humanity's capabilities. The command center was filled with a mix of anticipation and resolve. The team knew that their message had to be heard and seen. The demonstration was scheduled to take place shortly after the transmission, providing the Empire with a direct visual representation of what humanity was capable of. As the transmission concluded, the team awaited a response. The message had been sent, and now they could only hope that the Empire's leaders would understand the gravity of the warning. The time for further negotiation had passed. It was now up to the Empire to respond. The human leaders watched the monitors intently, waiting for any sign of the Empire's reaction. They knew that the next steps would be crucial. If the Empire underestimated their resolve, they would face consequences they had not anticipated. If they recognized the seriousness of the warning, it might lead to a change in their approach. The seconds ticked by, each moment filled with tension and uncertainty. The command center was a hive of activity as the team prepared for the next phase of their plan. The demonstration was about to begin, and it was designed to be both awe-inspiring and intimidating. As the countdown to the demonstration began, the human leaders remained vigilant. They were ready for whatever came next, prepared to face the Empire's response with the same determination that had driven their actions so far. The stage was set, and the galaxy was about to witness the full force of humanity's resolve. The atmosphere in Earth's hidden base was electric with anticipation. The time had come for humanity to show its true power, a critical part of their plan to send a clear message to the Galactic Empire. The demonstration was set to begin, and every team member was on high alert. The command center, bathed in the blue glow of holographic displays, buzzed with activity. The monitors showed the hidden spacecraft, sleek and formidable, as they prepared for their flight. Engineers and technicians checked their systems one last time, ensuring everything was in perfect working order. The stakes were high, and this demonstration had to be flawless. Outside the base, the spacecraft were ready for launch. These ships, hidden for years, were about to reveal themselves to the galaxy. They were equipped with advanced technology and weaponry that far surpassed anything the Galactic Empire had encountered. The demonstration was designed to be both a visual spectacle and a powerful statement of humanity's capabilities. As the countdown to the demonstration began, the control room fell silent. The team watched the screens intently, their faces reflecting the tension of the moment. The leader of the operations team addressed the room, her voice steady but filled with resolve. "This is our chance to show the Empire that we are not to be trifled with. Make sure everything goes as planned." The countdown reached 0, and the spacecraft roared to life. One by one, they lifted off from their hidden launch pads, ascending into the void of space. The sight was breathtaking. A fleet of advanced ships emerging from the shadows, their engines blazing with a brilliant blue light. As the spacecraft entered the edge of the Empire's territory, they assumed their designated positions. The demonstration was set to include a series of precision strikes, carefully calculated to display their firepower without causing unnecessary harm. The target area was a remote and uninhabited sector, chosen specifically to ensure that no lives would be endangered. The first phase of the demonstration involved a coordinated display of weaponry. The spacecraft released a series of energy pulses and tactical strikes, creating a dazzling array of lights and explosions. The display was designed to be both impressive and intimidating, showcasing the advanced technology that the Galactic Empire had never seen before. The control room watched as the holographic feeds showed the demonstration in real time. The reactions from the Empire's communication channels were being monitored closely. The goal was to ensure that their message was received loud and clear without any interference. As the demonstration continued, the spacecraft moved with precision and grace, their movements choreographed to maximize the impact of the display. The Empire's communication networks were flooded with data, including footage of the demonstration and the raw power of humanity's technology. In the command center, the team remained focused, their eyes fixed on the screens. They knew that the next few moments would be crucial in determining the success of their plan. The demonstration was not just about showcasing their power. It was about sending a message that would force the Empire to reconsider their approach. The demonstration concluded with a final, awe-inspiring display of firepower. The spacecraft fired a concentrated beam of energy, creating a massive, controlled explosion in the target area. The explosion was both spectacular and frightening, a clear indication of the capabilities of humanity's technology. As the spacecraft returned to their hidden base, the team in the command center reviewed the results of the demonstration. The footage and data were being analyzed, and the reactions from the Empire's communication channels were being monitored. The message had been sent, and now it was up to the Empire to respond. The demonstration was a success. Humanity had shown its strength and resolve, and the Galactic Empire had been given a clear warning. The stage was set for the next phase of their plan, and the outcome of this unexpected war was now in the hands of the Empire. As the team prepared for the next steps, they knew that the demonstration had made an impact. The Empire's leaders would have to decide how to respond to the challenge they had been given. The galaxy was on edge, waiting to see what would happen next. The Galactic Empire was not accustomed to being threatened. Their vast dominion had been built on the pillars of fear and superiority, and their leaders had grown complacent in their belief that no one could challenge their power. But the recent demonstration had shaken them to their core, and fear had begun to creep into the highest echelons of their command. In the Empire's central command hub, an air of unease hung heavy. The Grand Hall, usually bustling with confident officers and strategists, was now filled with a tense silence. The transmission and demonstration from Earth had been received, and the impact was immediate and profound. The Empire's supreme commander, a formidable figure known for his ruthlessness, stared at the screens with a furrowed brow. He was not a man easily intimidated, but the scale and precision of the demonstration had made him uneasy. The message run was more than a mere warning. It was a challenge to the Empire's authority. "Prepare a full analysis of the demonstration," the Supreme Commander ordered, his voice tight with restrained anger. "I want to know every detail about their technology and capabilities. This is not just a threat, it's a declaration of war." The officers scrambled to comply, their fingers flying over their consoles as they began to dissect the footage and data from the demonstration. The spacecraft had shown off technology far beyond what the Empire had anticipated. Their weaponry was powerful and precise, and the demonstration had been both a spectacle and a statement. As the analysis continued, the fear among the Empire's leaders grew. The Empire's intelligence had always been confident in their understanding of galactic affairs. But this new revelation had exposed a gap in their knowledge. They had underestimated humanity, and now they were facing a potential threat they were not prepared for. The Supreme Commander convened an emergency meeting with his top advisors. The room was filled with the Empire's most elite strategists, each known for their tactical brilliance. As they gathered around the holographic table, the mood was grim. The demonstration had left no room for doubt. Humanity was capable of inflicting serious damage. The demonstration was not only impressive, it was terrifying. One of the advisors said, his voice betraying his concern. If they have more of those ships and technology, they could potentially challenge our entire fleet. Another advisor nodded in agreement. We need to reassess our strategy. Underestimating them was a grave mistake. We should prepare for a possible conflict and consider all our options. The Supreme Commander agreed. We cannot allow ourselves to be caught off guard again. We need to strengthen our defenses and increase our intelligence operations. I want every available resource focused on understanding this new threat. In the meantime, whispers of the demonstration had spread throughout the Empire. The once untouchable facade of the Galactic Empire was beginning to crack. The fear of an unexpected enemy had begun to permeate the ranks, and even the most confident officers could not ignore the potential danger. The Galactic Empire's citizens, too, were affected. News of the demonstration and the Empire's response reached the public, fueling rumors and speculation. The Empire's leadership had always portrayed themselves as invincible, but the recent events had cast doubt on their invulnerability. For the first time in a long while, the Empire's citizens felt a pang of fear and uncertainty. As the Supreme Commander and his advisors worked to address the new threat, they were faced with a difficult decision. The demonstration had made it clear that humanity was not to be underestimated, and the Empire's response needed to be swift and decisive. The fear and uncertainty that had gripped the Empire's leaders were palpable. The demonstration had not only shown humanity's strength, but had also revealed the fragility of the Empire's perception of invincibility. As the days passed, the Galactic Empire prepared for what could be the beginning of a new era of conflict, one where the balance of power was no longer so clear-cut. The stage was set for a confrontation that would test both the Empire's might and humanity's resolve. The Empire's leaders knew that they could not ignore the challenge posed by Earth's demonstration, and their response would determine the course of the conflict. The galaxy watched with bated breath as the once unshakable Empire faced a threat that had the potential to change everything. In the wake of the Galactic Empire's reaction to their demonstration, humanity faced a pivotal moment. The shockwaves from their powerful message had not only stirred fear in the Empire, but had also galvanized the people of Earth. What had begun as a secretive, isolated effort was now a rallying cry for human unity. Across the globe, news of the demonstration spread quickly. Governments, once divided by politics and differing interests, began to set aside their differences. The shared realization that humanity faced a common threat brought an unprecedented sense of solidarity. People who had previously lived in their own spheres of existence were now coming together, united by a single purpose. The leaders of Earth, who had been working in the shadows, now found themselves at the forefront of a global movement. In the command center, the atmosphere was filled with a renewed sense of determination. The team had achieved a significant victory, but the real challenge lay ahead, uniting humanity to face the Empire. The command center's leader, a veteran strategist, addressed the assembled team. Our demonstration was a success, but it's only the beginning. We've shown the Empire that we are not to be underestimated. Now we need to ensure that this unity extends beyond our base and reaches every corner of the globe. To achieve this, the leaders initiated a global communication campaign. They broadcasted messages of unity and resolve, calling on nations to put aside their differences and work together for the common cause. The message was clear: humanity was stronger together, and their survival depended on their collective strength. As the broadcasts went out, there was an immediate and enthusiastic response. Citizens from all walks of life, from scientists and engineers to ordinary workers, volunteered their skills and resources. The once hidden base became a hub of activity, with new personnel arriving daily to support the effort. International cooperation reached new heights. Countries shared technology, intelligence, and resources, all contributing to the common goal of preparing for the potential conflict with the Galactic Empire. Scientists and engineers worked around the clock, developing new technologies and refining existing ones to strengthen humanity's defenses. One of the most significant changes was the formation of a unified command structure. The leaders from various nations came together to form a global military alliance, coordinating their efforts to create a cohesive strategy. This new alliance combined the strengths of individual nations and maximized their collective capabilities. In the command center, the leaders were busy organizing the next steps. They knew that a unified response was essential to face the Empire's potential aggression. They planned joint training exercises, shared intelligence, and developed strategies to ensure that every nation was prepared for the challenges ahead. The spirit of unity extended beyond the military and scientific communities. The general public was also deeply involved. Communities organized support rallies, and people from different backgrounds came together to contribute to the cause. The Empire's threat had become a rallying point, and the sense of shared purpose was palpable. As the weeks passed, humanity's response took shape. The once disparate efforts of individual nations had transformed into a powerful, coordinated force. The combined resources and knowledge of the global alliance made humanity a formidable opponent, ready to stand up to the Empire. The leaders of Earth watched with a sense of pride and determination as their vision of unity became a reality. They understood that the road ahead would be challenging, but the strength of their collective resolve gave them hope. Humanity had come together in the face of adversity, and their unity had become their greatest asset. The Galactic Empire had underestimated humanity's ability to unite, and the demonstration had been a wake-up call. As Earth prepared for the possibility of conflict, the unity of its people stood as a testament to their resilience and determination. The stage was set for a confrontation that would test both the Empire's power and humanity's newfound strength. With the global alliance firmly in place and a unified strategy taking shape, humanity was ready to face whatever challenges lay ahead. The Empire's fear had sparked a remarkable transformation on Earth, and the unified front of humanity was poised to make its mark on the galaxy. The time had come for humanity to face the Galactic Empire in a decisive confrontation. The unity that had emerged from the previous events was about to be put to the ultimate test. Both sides had prepared extensively, and now the stage was set for the big fight. The Galactic Empire, once confident in their invincibility, had been forced to reassess their strategy. They had mobilized their fleet, their ships prepared for what they anticipated would be a quick and decisive victory. But they were about to face a humanity that had come together with a single purpose: to defend their home and their freedom. On the other side, Earth's forces were ready. The Global Alliance had spent weeks preparing for this moment. The once hidden spacecraft had been fully integrated into a coordinated defense strategy. Every nation's resources had been brought to bear, creating a formidable force that was ready for battle. The command center was a hive of activity as the final preparations were made. The leaders of the Global Alliance gathered, their faces a mix of determination and anxiety. They knew that this battle would be the culmination of all their efforts. The time for diplomacy and warnings had passed. Now it was time to fight. As the battle began, the vast expanse of space was filled with the roar of engines and the blinding flashes of weapons fire. The Galactic Empire's fleet, with its imposing ships and advanced weaponry, engaged humanity's forces in a fierce struggle. The Empire's ships, once seen as unstoppable, now faced a new kind of opponent. Humanity's spacecraft moved with precision and agility, their advanced technology proving to be a match for the Empire's might. The Global Alliance's strategy was to use their superior maneuverability and coordinated tactics to counter the Empire's raw firepower. Each ship played a role, from launching tactical strikes to providing support and defense. The battle was intense and chaotic. Explosions lit up the void of space as energy blasts and missiles streaked through the darkness. The Empire's ships, despite their size and power, struggled to keep up with the speed and coordination of humanity's forces. The demonstration had been just a glimpse. Now the full extent of humanity's capabilities was on display. The command center monitored the battle closely, their eyes fixed on the holographic displays that showed the unfolding conflict. The data was coming in fast, and every decision was crucial. The leaders had to adapt their strategy in real time, responding to the Empire's moves and making adjustments as needed. Despite the chaos, there was a sense of purpose and unity among Earth's forces. The global alliance fought with a resolve that came from knowing they were defending not just their own lives, but the future of their entire species. The fear that had once gripped them was now channeled into a fierce determination. As the battle wore on, it became clear that humanity's strategy was working. The Empire's fleet, though powerful, was struggling to cope with the relentless and coordinated attacks from Earth's forces. The once unshakable confidence of the Empire was beginning to falter. In a crucial moment of the battle, a daring maneuver by one of humanity's spacecraft turned the tide. The ship, piloted by a skilled and brave crew, managed to breach the Empire's defenses and deliver a critical blow to one of their flagship vessels. The explosion from the flagship was massive, sending shockwaves through the Empire's fleet. The impact was immediate and profound. The Empire's ships, disoriented and shaken by the loss, began to retreat. The once imposing fleet, now battered and weakened, withdrew from the battlefield. The Galactic Empire's leaders, watching from their command centers, realized that their initial overconfidence had led to their downfall. As the dust settled and the remnants of the Empire's fleet retreated, humanity emerged victorious. The big fight had been a test of their unity and resolve, and they had proven themselves to be a formidable force. The battle was not just a military victory. It was a testament to the strength and determination of a united human race. In the aftermath of the battle, the command center erupted in cheers and celebrations. The leaders of the global alliance congratulated each other, knowing that they had faced the greatest challenge of their existence and had come out on top. The Galactic Empire's defeat marked a turning point in the conflict, and humanity's place in the galaxy had been irrevocably changed. The battle had been won, but the war was only beginning. With the Galactic Empire's defeat, humanity faced a new challenge: establishing a new order in a galaxy that had been dominated by the Empire for centuries. The victory was a turning point, but the path to a stable and peaceful future was fraught with complexities. In the aftermath of the battle, the command center was filled with a sense of cautious optimism. The leaders of the global alliance had emerged as heroes, having led humanity through its greatest challenge. The victory had demonstrated their strength and unity, but the real work was just beginning. The first priority was to address the immediate aftermath of the conflict. The remnants of the Empire's fleet had retreated, but there were still pockets of resistance and areas of instability. Earth's forces, now battle-hardened and experienced, were tasked with stabilizing these regions and ensuring that the Empire's remnants did not pose a further threat. In the wake of the battle, the leaders of the global alliance convened to discuss the future of the galaxy. The Empire's once ironclad grip on power had been shattered, and there was an opportunity to shape a new era. The leaders knew that their decisions would have far-reaching consequences, and they approached the task with a sense of responsibility and determination. The first step in establishing the new order was to create a framework for governance. The Global Alliance, having demonstrated its ability to unite and lead, proposed the formation of a new coalition of planets and species. This coalition would be based on principles of equality, cooperation, and mutual respect, aiming to replace the oppressive rule of the Galactic Empire with a system that served the interests of all. Diplomatic missions were launched to engage with the various species and planets that had been under the Empire's control. The goal was to build alliances and establish a new diplomatic framework. Many of the planets, having suffered under the Empire's tyranny, welcomed the opportunity for a fresh start. They were eager to participate in the creation of a new, fairer system of governance. As negotiations and diplomacy took center stage, Earth's forces continued their efforts to restore order in the galaxy. They worked to provide aid and support to the planets that had been devastated by the conflict. Humanitarian missions were organized to assist in rebuilding efforts and to address the needs of those affected by the war. The leaders of the Global Alliance recognized that the success of the new order would depend on their ability to foster cooperation and trust among the galaxy's diverse inhabitants. They made it a priority to listen to the voices of all parties and to ensure that the new system of governance was truly representative and inclusive. The transition to the new order was not without its challenges. There were factions within the Empire that resisted the changes and sought to undermine the efforts of the new coalition. The Global Alliance had to remain vigilant and prepared to address any threats to the stability of the galaxy. Despite the challenges, there was a growing sense of hope and possibility. The defeat of the Galactic Empire had proven that even the most entrenched powers could be overcome when people came together with a common purpose. The new order represented a chance for a fresh start, and humanity was determined to make the most of it. As the new coalition took shape, Earth's leaders reflected on the journey that had brought them to this point. The victory had been hard-won, and the road ahead would be demanding. But the resilience and unity demonstrated by humanity had set the stage for a brighter future. The galaxy was entering a new era, one defined by cooperation and shared goals rather than domination and fear. The new order promised a more equitable and just system, and the people of Earth, having proven their strength and resolve, were ready to lead the way. With the fall of the Galactic Empire and the establishment of the new coalition, the galaxy began to look forward to a future where peace and prosperity could thrive. Humanity's role in this new chapter was clear: to build a galaxy where every voice could be heard, and every planet could find its place in a just and harmonious system.